interesting nameplate reading here, guys. So this is the grinder that I just got from the flea market. 1/3 horsepower, 115 volt, 4.7 amps. So not taking into account power factor or motor efficiency or anything, just simple Watt's law here. So 4.7 times 115, that's 540 watts. Okay, that's in the ballpark for 1/3 horsepower. Okay. Let's go check the other one. Okay, this is an older grinder, and it's also says it's 1/3, 115, 5.5 amps. That comes up to 632 watts. Reasonable, because we don't know what the efficiencies are on these motors. But I'll tell you what, this one's got a lot of torque. And then let's go over here to this crusty rusty one here. By the way, I got this for free, so just in case you were wondering. So, and I don't know how old this is. This is probably from the early 60s. So same thing, 1/3, 115, 6.2 amps. And that comes out to 713 watts. And let me tell you, you guys saw this thing start. It's got some power. Okay, now let's go over to this import. Okay, look at that, 3/4 horsepower. Man, this baby must really have a lot of power. But check this out. At 110 volts, it's 4 amps. Well, that's only 440 watts. That must be one hell of an efficient motor. So they're pulling our legs here. And just knowing the quality of this motor, it's terrible as far as its efficiency goes. This thing is probably only 1/8 of a horsepower, and they're claiming 3/4. So, you know, buyer beware. Just you know, careful when you're. And one of the big offenders was actually Craftsman. I think they've gotten away from that, but in the 80s and even the 90s, they were way overrating their horsepowers. I remember some of the vacuum cleaners were rated at 5 horsepower, running on a 115 volt or 120 volt, you know, power, which you would need something like 40 or 50 amps to get that kind of horsepower, and just, you know, just completely, you know, false advertising, in my opinion. You know, I'm sure they had some formula with inertia and everything else, but yeah. So anyway, just buyer beware. Hey guys, here's a little sneak preview. So we're out here at the outdoor storage shed, and this is a Cincinnati electric pedestal grinder I picked up. I guess I've had it for about 1.5 years now. Anyways, I picked this up from a shop that was going out of business. It's a 10-inch, and I think it's only rated at 1 horsepower, but it's a serious machine. It's single phase. It looks like it's got conventional journal type bearings because there's lubrication fittings on here. And see if I get a close-up of the nameplate. There you go. You can see it'll run on 110 or 220. And I did run this grinder before buying it to test it. Let me tell you guys, this thing runs smooth as silk. So this will be a wintertime project, and I'm just going to give it a good cleanup, repaint it, replace the power cord, and I'll rewire it for 110 most likely. It's wired for 220 right now. Let's see, what's the amp rating? 13 amps at 120 or 110, I guess. So it'll be more flexible that way. The the tool rests, they don't have a lot of adjustability, so I'll probably build some new tool rests for it. So, and I don't know, this thing might be too big for the home shop, but I couldn't pass up the deal on it. So it's possible I might end up just selling this when I finish it, you know, after I evaluate whether or not it's oversized for me or not. But anyways, a little sneak preview. This will be, like I say, wintertime. I'm not exactly sure when I'll get to it, but yeah, it's one of those projects that's been on the back burner.